Share the
Yeah, welcome everybody. This is talk number 63, and we have Ravindra here to share with us his journey um, as a designer. I would call him as an accidental IDCN who happened to stroll through curious department at IIT and totally flipped. He graduated from IDC in '87, worked with Roplas for a brief while, and then signed up with Tata Motors, which was then Telco. Just to jump, rest of it he will tell you is that he has numerous patents under his belt with many international awards, and he's also amateur classical musician where he plays tabla and the sitar. So with that, I will hand it over to you, Ravindra. Would request everybody to go on to mute and maybe shut the video so that the bandwidth would be better. Thank you.
good evening, everybody. I share my screen and then I will start this. Are you able to see?
Yes.
Thanks, Raj, for this opportunity to have a dialogue. We're discussing about it, what to talk about it, and he was suggesting some case studies. I was feeling that the case studies all are from IDC pass outs and I think it's just we are not in the college, so I thought better to talk about a generic rather than specific to one vehicle or something. Thanks a lot. I'll be talking about my journey as a designer in automotive industry. First of all, before starting anything, I really sincerely thanks. I salute to three major institutes which changed my life. One is the College of Engineering Pune for engineering, my engineering education. The second one is IDC. There's a golden period where 85, 87 I was there, and lastly it is Tata Motors, Telco, Tata Technology. All the premises, I was sitting the same place, same area. My company names were changing. For next 29, 30 years where I served, I worked. So three major institutes, they really contributed in my development. Should salute to that before starting anything. My design journey actually started in 1985-87 when I joined in IDC. A phenomenal batch. All 15 guys with like a one team working together as product design. And I really miss down the line. Many of them they are not only my friends, they are also my integral part of my family. For last 30 years, they are part of my family. During all these 30 years, we miss Sanjay Prasad and Bora, who are no more with us. And I really miss Geeta Joshi, very dear and near to me, who was working in the IDC as well as she also did her VC there. We missed her, always remember. 85, 87, when I passed out from IDC, I landed into Roplas India Limited. I think this was a choice because it was in Pune. After IDC, I wanted to come back to my native place. So whatever campus interviews happened and few companies came and where we could get a chance, I preferred Roplas because it was in Pune. And probably that might be one of the reasons Roplas might have selected me, so that they need not pay me additional these things from Pune person may be available. So it happened to be a good match there. Roplas was a very small company. It was medium scale company, around 300 employees. R&D was just 3-4 people, and Some 20 guys were working as a in R&D shop. It was a small, medium scale company, Mahindra's company, subsidiary of Mahindra, but it was advanced company in thought process point of view. When I joined 85, 87, in 2 years, immediately they loaded me a lot of work. I worked there. Mainly Roplas was handling the fiberglass and SMCs. There was a unique way of working there. Marketing people used to find out the opportunity where there is a potential where you can sell fiberglass or SMC. And then along with the marketing guy, a design fellow, and you go there, sit along with those clients, convince them, try to understand their problem and immediately convert that into some application or something, convince them and get a job and come back to factory, work out all the proposals, commercials and other, and quickly implement that and do the production. It is a very simple process, but a lot of learning. Many products in 85, 87, 87, 89, 2 years, I worked in Roplas India. Mainly since it was a Mahindra company, a lot of work used to come from Mahindra. During that period, I did hard tops for Bajaj Auto Rickshaw. That time, MM540 Jeep was very popular, Mahindra Jeep. Converting that into a top of hard tops for that. Mahindra tractor hard tops. Then Mahindra factory roof. I have the bottom corner, what I'm showing, huge roof claddings in FRP we were developing there. One of the, even that time I remember, a unique case which was having this Mahindra logo printing on the almost a 10 feet diameter. The requirement was that from Bombay, the flights, when they go up, they should see Mahindra. So on the corrugated sheet design, even printing that Mahindra logo, that was a challenge at that time. I'm talking about 30 years back. And I remember that very difficult way we have placed the projector and then converted that into on the corrugated form and then painted it. Many other products also apart from Mahindra. I worked on the seats for stadiums, aeroplane, food serving trolleys, petrol pump rooftops. And one major project which I handled with during that project was for portable houses for ONGC and Oil India. ONGC Oil India people used to go out in the field and to have a luxurious portable houses in the field. They were requirement. I was stationed in Assam to convince ONGC Oil India, and then we came out with the portable houses. So that entire design I was handling, working on that, and then multiple applications came down the line, security cabins and quick medical dispensaries, office, these things, living rooms, many other things, applications came for the portable houses. During that period, we also received a job of a bulletproof dais. Rajiv Gandhi, at that time, our Prime Minister, was having a meeting with Mr. Mitterrand, French president, in Bombay. And our company marketing people could grab a order of a bulletproof dais. Just 2.5 months time, we were asked to erect a completely a bulletproof dais, which was a portable, shifted on Mahalakshmi Rescourse, and there was a speech and other thing. So it was within 2 months we were supposed to do all the irrigation and this. I was handling that. Even you can see the sketching and everything was shown to commissioners and everything, and trying to get the order. Very fast level of working Roplas. And what I was saying that the Roplas is also was a forward thinking. Roplas guys never had a problem that I was doing the consultancy. When I passed out from IDC, I started my own design consultancy. It's called Abhikalp. And during that period, I worked for BIF and I was having a retainership for Thermax. Roplas did not have any objection for doing that, because Roplas was saying that as far as possible, you are working in our company and satisfying that requirement. We are happy that you work outside also. You gain your extra time, whatever you do. For BIF, during that period, I developed around 14 applications for various schools and for rural students. We developed for earning carpentry, various products and other thing we developed. I worked on that as well as Thermex. I was having the returnership where Thermex was working for a styling for their boiler facelifts, their instrument clusters, and their instrument panels development. I was working proposals and other thing. Roplas actually has it was a very simple process, FRP and SMC, and you just keep trying to develop everything, convert multiple products and applications, convert back to FRP, SMC. Involvement was for every stage, sketch to production, short development cycle. So we could see the results very quickly. Within 2 months, 3 months, whatever you are doing the sketch, you convert that into product and it is in the market. You can see, judge whether your design is working or not. Highly motivated team. But always there was a manpower crunch and there was a fund crunch because Roplas itself was a very small company. So not having very big funds, reserve funds. So always for every project, we had a problem of funds. Personal touch, top director to the bottom operators, all like a family, keep working to each other, working with each other with very close relationship. This was a very good transition for me from student to a business for going in a professional life. Down the line, actually, Roplas had a limitation. Roplas has its own limitation of investment, and the work was slowly becoming monotonous. It was like a FRP and SMC only. So there was a growth limitation. So I started applying outside. I started looking for a job change. Roplas work could earn me a job in Tata Motors. In 2 years, I worked on 20 to 25 products. Small products or even some big hard tops and other thing. So portfolio became very, very strong. And this helped me when I went for Tata Motors interview. I was having very, very strong portfolio. So it could earn me a Tata Motors. And at the same time, I was having opportunity in another 2-3 companies. I say that for Roplas, that when I decided to quit Roplas, to leave Roplas, and when I resigned in my resignation period, Roplas director had a very heart-to-heart discussion with me, where I'm going, what I'm doing. And I discussed with him all my three opportunities, where I got a job, what salaries I'm getting. And he told me that you should join Tata Motor. Take my advice, join Tata Motor. Don't go for other companies, even though some salary and some some place it was asked me that R&D, I was R&D head, was getting opportunity, a smaller company. But he said, no, join Tata Motor. I'm telling you, they join. And he also told me that I can offer you the Tata Motor level salary, but I don't want to offer, because today you are leaving, or maybe another 2-3 years you will leave. Better for you, better opportunities there in Tata Motor. And I'm really thankful that he suggested me. I could take his advice. Very old man, Mr. Khan, and I landed in Tata Motor. I joined. At that time, it was not Tata Motor. It was a Telco. Down the line, my position remained the same place. I joined Telco, then went somewhere in Tata Technologies, then again Tata Motor. Companies went on changing, but my workplace was remaining same. 1989 to 1992 is the period when I look back. It was like a journey from fresh designer from a medium scale industry to a fresh designer in large organization. When I landed in Tata Motor, the first 7-8 months, it was just lost in the crowd. I was having very short, sundry assignments and confined to a very small group with very limited scope. Unfortunately, I joined somewhere in July in 1989. And another 3-4 months, Tata Motor faced a big problem of a union. There was a shutdown, and then there was a union problems. So everybody was busy into that union issues and many other issues. So even I was a fresh person there. So not much, nobody's looking at you, nobody's really asking you what you are doing. Maybe every day you have to go there, punch your card and show your presence, but nobody's really behind you to ask anything. So it was a little bit frustrating. I was feeling that whether my thing was right, my choice was right to join Tata Motor or Telco at that time, or wrong, because nobody's giving much work, very short, small level work, day to day basis or weekly basis, doing some assignment, even making exploded views or some making some furniture design, like doing some furniture for some conference and for coming out proposals, something like that. The daylight I could see somewhere in 1990. After 7-8 months, the first time the styling studio was formulated. I was a pioneer of working, happened to be a pioneering person to be there. It was somewhere in Mr. Tata. Ratan Tata was chairman at that time. Almost, I think it was somewhere in 1987 or 88. He became chairman of Tata Motor. And somewhere he was, some 90s or something, he was discussing about Tata Mobile, some issues. And he suggested to the R&D head for making, instead of doing some proposal on physical vehicle, he was saying that in abroad, people do some industry designers, they do some sketching and some other proposals, something. They were discussing about anything, probably that. And our R&D head informed him that we also have some few boys who are done industry design type of this type of work. And he was surprised. And he said, where are they? I want to meet them. And somewhere in 1990s, R&D head brought him. I remember that day when the chairman walked in directly into our department. It was just in 20 minutes notice. We were given 20 minutes notice to be ready. And then the chairman along with the R&D head, top head, came to the department, myself and from IDC and John Luxem, who was from NID. Before that, we were sitting in some corner in the engineering, some one small table. That day he came out, we were introduced that we are that. Our R&D head was asking that quickly show some sketches, make some sketches in front. Mr. Tata was saying, no, it's okay. I just want to see, I just want to meet. But it changed that day, it changed the environment. Mr. Tata at that time was head of only Telco. He was not that time head of Tata Sons. So he used to visit Pune plant and Jamshedpur plant. Almost every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, he used to visit for Pune plant. And he asked that he would like to be in touch with we guys to work out a new proposals, new things or something. And since he started coming, we were shifted. Since the chairman has started coming to the department, we were shifted in the room, and that room became a styling studio. And every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, he started coming. We started with the small things. Along with him, he really became our mentor for this. And I could see some light for my journey in Tata Motors. During that period, even though we were working along with him, still the work was very small. It was like in that period, I worked on Tata Sierra interiors, some proposals on interior. Sierra was already it was under development, almost in final stage. Then Tata Sumo was designed by tooling people. It is a concept which came from tooling people. So most of the panels and everything was made very, very simple. But everything was sharp, and Mr. Tata was not liking it very, very sharp, featured everywhere. So I was given this thing to work only on the front end. So I worked only on the front grille and lamps and that area. This sketch is not this is today's only take from the internet, but it is at that time it was only front end, the bonnet, front lane portion and the bumper. That's a portion I worked on that. I also developed that time a universal ergo rig. For ergonomics, we started discussing. Earlier, that period was a manufacturing era. Manufacturing people were very, very strong. Very strong. R&D people were just reporting to manufacturing. It was manufacturing, producing the vehicles was very important, and the making numbers, production numbers. So since Mr. Tata was started talking as a customer first, slowly we started looking at a man in the vehicle, and then ergonomics came into that. I worked on the ergonomics rig. During that period, a lot of free time. So I participated into various competitions. And in that period, I could gain two international awards during that period. One of the award was for the from the Car Styling magazine. Uh, I received an award for the city emergency vehicle. And the great part is also the same time, Nikhil Khosa, who was also IDCN, he also grabbed the award. So we both became a award winner for car styling in that year. So a lot of discussion happened all across. Subsequently, in next 1.5 year, I received another award from Japan Design Foundation for artificial larynx for cancer patients, which can be replaced in the throat cancer people. So I participated in that. The subject was to do something by using the air as a basic media for working, and I was working for the robots, whether robot can speak. And then down the line, while doing the data collection, I found that throat cancer people, they cannot speak. So I was working with Sassoon Hospital, Busy Medical. And then almost for 8 months, I worked on various things and then came out with a proposal for artificial larynx, which can be implanted in the body. I gave all the thesis and everything submitted to them, and I could receive these two awards. Change a lot of things. Within R&D, everybody started talking. The articles started coming in Times of India, Rotary clubs, and many other places. Some young guys doing some work and nothing. This probably might have helped for me to get a next vehicle, my first vehicle in Tata Motor, where I worked for exterior and interior, whole thing completely. That time Tata Motor was producing 407, which was a semi-forward vehicle. And there was a thought that the Japanese people will enter inside Mitsubishi and the people will enter in India for full forward. That will be a full forward vehicle is always useful for more cargo space in behind. So they were thinking of making a full forward vehicle, and that project came to me. I became in charge of that project for all styling, all looks, and all surface developments for exterior as well as interior. All exterior sketching, interior sketching, discussing with the surface development with all engineering team, and I think that was my job. Having a discussion, discussing with Mr. Tata, getting proposals approved from him, and then coming out with the final concepts and everything. It was a exterior and interior styling, very simple and functional styling. A lot of detailed ergonomic study we did at that time. Obviously, not many CAD and many other things. It was everything was manual drawing. So a lot of things were through manual. But earlier I did that ergonomics rig and a lot of study there. So it helped for working there. Mr. Tata also was very keen that customer should be given preference. The driver should be seen. What can be done? So a lot of work we did at that time. We also that time, first time, we debated and we had discussion with Mr. Tata that every vehicle has its own identity. Why Tata should not have some identity? And then we came out with this thing that the Tata vehicle should go in the market to with a smiling face to the customer, with a smiling face. And it was, we decided to have the horizontal grills, simple horizontal grills. In the first vehicle came out with the smiling face, smiling grill forward, and it later on this was carried forward to many vehicles in Indica and Vista and many other vehicles. It carried forward that concept down the line. I'm really proud that this vehicle is still there for last 26 years. My original concept, the original concept as it is. Many variants came on this platform, but the overall form It was liked by customer. The customer preferred it, and it became very popular in the market. Last 26 years, still this vehicle is still in production. Tata Motors is still producing this vehicle, and good numbers. Many time it was the it goes around 180 to 200 vehicles per day. It was the vehicles are being selling every variant. So uh, I feel many times when I see this vehicle on the road, I feel very proud that I contributed in the sketch and very early stage in the concept of this vehicle. During that period, I also worked on the SFC 1210. We also did a work on Tata Mobile car. Down the line, this car was converted into a monocoque car. Now, Tata Mobile was already in production, so we worked out a car on the Tata Mobile, which is chassis driven, and then the project was shifted with monocoque. Then this vehicle was also launched down the line somewhere in the motor shows. I worked for these two vehicles, but they never came in the market. I worked on SFC 1210 facelift. I worked in Jamshedpur. I went there, worked along with Jamshedpur team, developed up to the styling surface model and styling level approved by Tata's, and then it never saw the market. And Magna, which is a vehicle, I worked only in exterior level. Down the line, a lot of work was done by John Luxon. He worked a lot on that vehicle, and I was shifted from there to a next vehicle, which is Safari. The Safari 1992, I was asked to go to shift to Safari. This was the first time I had an international exposure. Now, Mr. Tata was feeling that you cannot just keep working, looking at the vehicles which are seen in magazine or who are available in India. That has a limitation for your exposure. And he asked us that we should visit exhibitions. We should go out. Because of him, even we were very young. I was very, very young at that time in Tata Motor, and going abroad. That time, that period was considered to be company sending some people outside was like a perks. It was like only the senior topmost people could go. But since Tata was insisting that the designers who are working ahead of the time, they should have exposure. So the first time in 1991, 92, I went to Frankfurt Motor Show for benchmarking for Safari work. And then down the line, I also worked along with IID, International Automotive Design, which is placed in Worthing, UK, who this company was engaged for Tata Safari styling, Tata Safari work. But Tata was at that time was not spending a lot of money. It was very difficult to foreign exchange, going outside. So the work content was a IID team of 10 to 12 people, experts were called in Tata Motor, and they were working in Tata Motor. And under them, there was groups were formed and who were working along with them. I happened to be associated for the styling phase, for developing the styling, surface development, exterior and interior. And the same period, I learned along with IID UK, since I was a mechanical engineer, I started also doing the under the skin, doing the body design. I learned techniques about the body design through IID UK guys. This expanded my learning from not only the surface area, but also inside the surface, some engineering part of it is body design. The work scope increased from design plus engineering design, industry design plus engineering design. First time we learned about the tape drawings, styling model, making a styling model, and then the first time the CAD surfacing came in. Before that, we were always used to do manual work, manual drawings and other. During the Safari, it was decision that we should shift to the CAD. Safari work is done on CATIA. Even at that time, Alias was not introduced. Alias was not in the market here. Alias was not available. CATIA was there. So even styling surfaces also were done on the CATIA. Along with the IID UK guys, we learned the CAD systems. We learned CAD and then engineering. Now I started getting the feel of being working in a larger company, the benefits. Larger company has a larger audience. It has multi functional interdisciplinary expertise. So there is a lot of scope to learn from so many people, and there is a lot of scope for you to grow further. So frankly speaking, this project has shifted me from individual to a group leader. It was a small group who was a styling and then down the line as a body design team. But it's no more, it's my own work. But I had a team who was working, reporting to me, and then started doing the work along with them. So there are some skill levels about understanding to become you like a group leader. There's a transition between that period. 1995, I was lucky enough. In Tata Motors, I was always I'm a lucky guy. When 1995 Tata decided that to go from the fully passenger car. Safari was a passenger car, but it was on the body or chassis, and still it has a lot of thing which is the SUV category, but completely monocoque. Tata Indica. When it was decided to make a 1995, the company selected me for working on Tata Indica. This vehicle was launched in December 1998, India's first indigenous car. The great achievement is 1.1, 1 point almost 1 lakh vehicles were booked in first week itself. The production capacity was 1 lakh per year. The booking happened to be more than that of 1 year. So this was such a huge response. And at that time, media was very weak. Media was not there, but still, since people were thinking that this is India's car, India's vehicle. This project was decided to work very secretly, very secret, and it should be done. So Mr. Tata decided that this work should be done. Since we also debated along with him. We asked him that why can't we work and do some styling and other things. So he was saying that since the all worked out has happened that time, was almost 3,000 crore stake, which was huge money at that time. First time going into a commercial vehicle to a passenger car. So, and wanted to be very secret before anything, nothing to be revealed till us. And so it was decided the work will happen in Turin. It will happen in the environment where most of the advanced, since we would like to have a contemporary vehicle of advanced vehicle, contemporary vehicle in the European level. So it was Idea Institute was engaged, and I was asked to shift from Tata Motor to Idea Institute. I was shifted there for 2 years. And surprisingly, one more thing which was done. Idea Institute was asking for independent office within, because that was a period when there was no mails. Everything communication, fastest communication used to happen with fax. And the fax, all R&D was having, entire R&D was having in the only top R&D, top boss, director level. His office was having one fax machine. Maybe project office head was having one fax machines. Faxes were very costly. Phones were very costly. So communication gap and then a lot of other problems should not happen. So Idea Institute demanded there should be a team, there should be somebody should be there, remain in station in Idea Institute. Myself and one more fellow were asked to shift to Idea Institute as a Tata Motor project office, liaising people, stationed full time forward. And there are various teams depending on the work was moving forward. The teams used to come there and visit there. This is a vehicle where I could see the whole thing from bird's eye view, how the vehicle actually starts from the sketch level to the all styling to the prototype level development. All that work happened in Turin. Everything happened in Italy. Since I was there, stationed there for 2 years, then all key suppliers, they were asked to visit Turin, and there were only senior supplier members were allowed to come there. Within Tata Motor also, senior people always from the various departments, as per necessity, used to visit there. And every 1.5 month or key dates, Mr. Tata, along with his top management, they used to visit there, and we used to have a long reviews for almost for a week reviews we used to have there. Since the communication was very poor, there was no there was no video conferencing and nothing. So it has to be, everything has to be physical. So Mr. Tata used to travel there, and then we used to have meetings. So attending all those meetings, sitting in every meeting, understanding how things are, what discussions are happening everywhere, and we were having a task of handling the whole thing there in Idea Institute. We were very closely working with Idea Institute. One separate message also was there with us, that next project will be done in Tata Motor. So try to learn whatever is there, whatever in Europe, not only just a car, but what is required for the car to design. We should learn all those techniques, and there should be parallel built up should happen in India. And Tata Motor was now started shifting R&D in an advanced level to have car CAD stations, and then the way the car development happens in Turin, we were following that things into trying to get that, learning those things back to India, back to work in India, trying to do something. So lot of things we learned. I learned especially for project management, time dependency issues, started looking at tooling and mass production aspects. Even one of the thing I know that that time Tata Motor was making hardly 40-50 vehicles per day. Indica was supposed to be made 500 vehicles per day. What will be the issues for when you make really 500 vehicles per day? It is like every minute, if you do not solve the problem, one vehicle will be out from the production. You cannot just store those vehicles. So to learn that, what will happen in mass production and how to give that experience. So Mr. Tata, with his contacts, with his so many outside this thing, he requested Chrysler, and we three of us, me from R&D, I was there, from production head, one of the production head, and one logistic person, top head. We shifted to Chrysler to work in Chrysler Cherokee line. I worked in Chrysler for 1,000 per day vehicle. The Chrysler was producing 1,000 per day. So I worked there because Tata was having the contact with the top chairman, Chrysler chairman. Through them, we were injected there. We worked there for 2 months. 2 months, I worked on Chrysler lines. Various places we worked on the line, and trying to look at it, really what happens, what is happening there, to learn from those people from there, what will go wrong. It's like doing the DFME and something like on the field, and trying to bring that to Tata Motor back. What we really require facility in Tata Motor. So planning and other people were doing. So I learned many things in the mass production level, what really happened during that period. It helped me to, the Indica has helped me to get a recognition across the company. My name started, I became an Indica man. Within Tata Motor, people started recognizing me beyond R&D. Earlier, I was working in R&D departments were knowing, but because of Indica, my name started becoming known to outside, to production people, tooling people, planning people, purchasing people, even in supplier base. This helps you when you really go for any new development, new work. And my boss at that time, my top boss, that time my department head was a tooling man, and he used to always tell me that, hey, look, you should go through while designing, you should know every aspect. Designer should be good listener. You should listen everybody. Then you do whatever you feel right. Because design is not satisfying everybody, but designing is like taking a right decision and adjusting everybody, trying to see, convincing everybody, and trying to bring it. It's not possible to satisfy each and every thing in a particular design. But at the same time, you should be able to balance it properly. And for that, you require a knowledge. You require contacts. That Indica gave me that training. I could also develop my team during that period. Indica, after the Indica, when I came back to Tata Motor, when I came back, I had a choice. After 2 years working there, I had a choice, but I requested that I want, since I am a creative or design oriented person, not to work in project office. So I requested that, can I go to R&D back? The, very nicely, the project manager, 2 years I was working with him, and he said that yes, I also understand in 2 years our experience that you are a R&D person. So you will be more helpful to me if you go back to R&D. You go back to R&D. Only he requested to R&D that I should be shifted back to ERC R&D with the condition that I will work on Indica till Indica is launched. Indica comes in the market. So when I came back, I shifted back from project office back to the R&D, and then I started handling the Indica platform. Down the line, between next 3 years, we came out where me and my team worked on Indica V2, Indica Indigo, Indigo CS, and Indica Sport and Marina, which has various variants. Every variant, depending on the market requirement, we were developing. And all these vehicles were now down the line designed in Tata Motors. Because during the time of Indica, we started learning the processes there, what is happening in the surface development sort of thing. We also took the various people, and I am very, very proud to have to say that the guys who are joined at that time along with me, who are even ITI, who have done the, not even they have done the graduation, who are draftsmen. Today they are managers in various companies. They have grown up and they have become design managers. So they have also acquired a lot of knowledge in in the vehicle design architecture point of view. So a lot of work we did. More than 14 lakh vehicles were sold Indica platform.
Ravindra, running. We need to do a time check.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll
Sorry.
run fast. I'll run fast in next 15 minutes. I'll finish it off. 2004 came out with a completely new eye opener, Nano. I was involved from day one for Nano, entire layout and design philosophy. I was project manager for first year on Nano. I was lucky enough that when Tata decided to make this vehicle, the first person to go and meet Tata to take the briefing from him, then my team worked out the Nano philosophy, design philosophy, layout and everything. Multiple options, and it was a lot of ultra low cost challenging. This vehicle was launched in January 2008. Exceptional project of my lifetime. I'll not talk much about this vehicle. There's a lot of it there in media. 2005, next year itself, since I worked for Indica almost 8-9 years, marketing and people were demanding next vehicle, and Vista platform came. This was an international platform. 2005 to 8, I worked on Vista. This was a completely international standard platform. Worked on, my team all worked on that. And today Tata Nexon is the latest version of this platform. This 9 to 12, we came out with various variants on this platform. The unique case of Vista platform, Vista, Bolt, Jest, Manza, and now today Nexon, all these vehicles are there. Quantum jump from design quality point of fits, finish, and materials. Having the a lot of advanced technologies came into Vista because it was decided it is an export version level vehicle. And the work became expanding exponentially. I became a design executive for their platform strategy was developed. So there are multiple variants done before the styling or before any design work started. Very contradictory things for commonality, for tooling saving, but differentiation for customer. So there are very contradictory requirements which you have worked at that time. Was party to all doing that work. Expanded design work, and then you cannot do within your internal design team. So you have to offload a lot of work. So training of those people and bring the homogeneity in all these groups. Many times designers do not work with each other. They compete with each other. So it's a lot of struggle. We have to really make how the teams work together for common goal. International safety standards on competing in export market and leading and adopting a lot of multiple new technologies for Indian market. 2013 to 18, I was a design executive, multiple commercial vehicles. This was a lean period for passenger cars, not doing much thing were happening in R&D. So I was shifted from working on the commercial vehicles. During this period, I was handling all the 1 ton to 40 tons, all the commercial vehicles, multiple commercial vehicles and their variants. New vehicles came out during this period was the ultra platform variants, ultra narrow and ultra sleeper and ultra vehicle, and Tata Intra, which is the next version of Tata S. These are new vehicles came during this period, and my design team went on working. But mostly it was multiple design groups handling at a time. Their reviews, daily reviews, their training, their firefighting, even the vehicles which are very old, 40 years old vehicles, their production issues and service issues, target cascading, a lot of work, which was more administrative type of job. I'm now coming to the end of this thing, my session. So really speaking, when you look back, your journey really happens to be being an individual, showing individual skills, domain knowledge to a group leadership. From there, you go to the managerial levels where you motivate the group and try to develop a desired task. And then down the line, you become executive, whether you do larger projects or you have multiple projects at the same time. And there are a lot of other issues when happens when the multiple projects, when of a different nature, they come together. So you have to not only motivate the managers or groups, but you also solve a lot of conflict issues. So this is what really happens. Obviously, 2018, I stopped for working from this, and since my family was asking me not to take beyond that 2018 onward to take a very heavy loaded job, so I started doing the consultancy. After 2018, I uh, came out from Tata Motors. Nowadays doing consultancy with automotive firms. I'm associated in academics. I decided down the line to, instead of more working focusing on the industry, work on academics. So I am associated with Rubica, uh, which is a French university for design. I'm also was handling the as a director MES Garware College for interdisciplinary courses and to develop something. I was consultant for Ferguson College for doing some collaborations outside. And I'm also board of studies for Karnataka Gokte Institute of Technology for mechanical engineering and I think what can be done. Doing lectures, various educational institutes. I'm also doing as a guide for engineering and PhD student, design PhD students. IDC also have few students were there. I worked over there along with them as a guide. I'm a board member of Indian Standards. I'm board member of ergonomics chapter. So our ergonomics related standards, they keep coming to me. I participate in the meetings and try to give my input there to make the standards for it. And down the line, what really now in the free time, what I really do is painting. Thanks to IDC that during the engineering, I never did any sketching. In IDC, I learned through Agarkar, doing renderings. And today it is helping me to spend time to painting. I also keep playing sitar, learn sitar, and spend my peaceful time. I really enjoy the today the now as a retired life, the quality then. I stop here for your all learning very short period. Try to condense, try to fix all these things within short period. We can do for any questions as well.
Thank you, Ravindra, for that very interesting journey, which will be like a guide for many of the students and the young designers who are coming into the field. So, thank you very much for that. So we'll open the floor for questions.
Yeah.
You can just put up your hand, raise a hand, and then we shall take it in sequence. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, I don't know who's the name. Please go ahead. N2SK Designs.
Yeah, this is Sunil speaking. Hi, Ravindra. It was a very fabulous presentation. Like every designer, we all want to do cars and things, but the sketching part becomes very what you call the initial problem when we are kind of self-teaching ourselves in the absence of I mean, this was 10 years back, right? When 2006 back. So we didn't have anybody per se teaching us styling and stuff. So it was all self-taught to some extent. And we found it, I mean, at least I found it in my journey very difficult to render the way the international quality is. So my question is, how important is this skill in becoming an automotive designer? And if you're not that great, so what are the other ways you can become a holistic automotive designer? Thank you.
Sunil, very important question. Um, two ways we can two ways I can answer this. Prasanna and will able to talk more about the surface development, because when the Elias and things started coming, I was already shifted from there to the executive level for body design. But I can tell you one thing. First of all, I find I always try to, when I was trying to teach in Rubica for my transportation design students. First of all, the students should know why they are developing that particular surface. Because just making, today what I find that when initial days, when I started industry design and started working there, we were not having much tools. One rendering, if I had to make in Tata Motor at that time, we used to do by markers, watercolor, and best technology was a spray painting guns. Almost 1 week you work, and then one finished rendering, you finish it. And it can get spoiled anywhere, in perspective or anywhere. A lot of effort. Today, the Photoshop and other technologies available, you can do a lot of things. But the reverse part of it is, what happens is, since it is easy, I find that in today's students, the thinking is you are able to make a complex sketch, right? Like a transformer, which is a movies. You try to make very, very complex shapes, which is very difficult to produce, and it's not functional also. It doesn't work, the tooling and everything. So first of all, people should understand that why surfaces, how the surfaces are also to be produced and to be maintained properly. The second part, why it is a quality of surface or quality of rendering and anything is important is, whatever you are imagining, first of all, sketching should be seen from the perspective that your limitations are not for your imagination, but limitation is how you express your imagination. And if you do not have the sketching ability, you do not have the expression abilities with a hyper realistic way, then probably your good concepts will not be seen by people and they will not able to comment. So you should have ability to do that. You can always use take the photographs and then take it in background and do the Photoshop renderings and everything. But making, I always try to tell to students, do not try to go behind, because most of the students nowadays, when I look in Rubica and other places, they want to work on only Ferraris and racing cars because they are young. They want to have motorcycles which are racing motorcycles. And always the thinking is as complex as they can draw. That's the best design. But that's not correct. If you try to look at in the market, if you try to go somewhere outside, especially in India, if you really look at it, Wagoners and Altos, simple designs, they produce number of vehicles, very popular vehicle in the market. So people are not just there has to be aesthetic element, there has to be aesthetically pleasing element, but you cannot just make it complex design by making a complex design. Second part is surface development in Elias and thing. Why it is important? Because it's like a surface plate. Whatever you do there, will repeat everywhere, and down the line, what you make on that, somebody will add in tooling and somebody will do in design and further deteriorate it. So if your surface plate is wrong, your components will not be correctly measured. Similarly, if your surface is wrong, initial surface, further it will become wrong, and you will see those defects on the vehicle. So there should be tighter control over the styling surface area for alias surfaces, class A surface, what space specifically called, because it's the initial for making any further design work. So that's why it is very, very important. Class A surface development is a very crucial and very, very important in international standard, international level. There's a lot of money people spend for doing that, and people are expert to do, keep on doing that work. And the Prasanna will able to also can add some more light on this.
Thank you, Ravindra. Thank
I
you
think
very much.
Atwankar sir has some question. Maybe
Oh,
Ravi,
okay.
you can.
Sir, please go ahead. Advankar, sir.
Yeah. Ravindra, it was nice to listen to you and see your story. It was wonderful experience going through it. I have a question which is not related to your presentation. Last 3 to 4 years, I've seen Tata Motors styling becoming more aggressive and more complex. Is there some marketing reason, or is there some change of approach that has occurred in the last 4 years?
Uh, the major changes are happening two ways, sir. Number one, the car has started becoming a commodity. International markets, people are already there in India. Their vehicles are coming in India. Now, whatever is there in abroad, those vehicles are easily, immediately available in India. Earlier, were importing, bringing outside vehicle here. There was a lot of taxes. But nowadays, many people have their own plants here. They are doing indigenous or they are doing the CKD's work here. So that pressure is there. Second is thing is Indian people have started the cycle time. Even the car may functionally can remain good for 15 years, but people will change the car in 3 to 4 years. People will start change the vehicle and then go for another vehicle. So the the pressure is coming for to remain in the market. You should have variants, and there's a competition. When Indica was there, at that time there are hardly 4 to 5 vehicles were there in market. Today in hatchback there are more than 80, 90 vehicles are there in the market, in Indian market. So that pressure is also there. So these are the two things which are really making a difference. And for competing in the market, because in the market, aggression is one of the way you can show your presence. When you go in the motor shows, if you really look, go to the motor show, if you're a silent player in the motor show, even you have good vehicles, people will not see it because the vehicle has to stand out in the dealership. People should, when the vehicle is moving on the road, people should able to notice it, the presence. So these all things are resulting into the shape changes and other things which are coming. But the one thing I feel after working for 30 years into all this thing, I feel that frankly speaking, car, if you look at as a one of the object, maybe after 30 years learning working in this field, maybe it's a very late thing, knowledge gain. But if you really look at that vehicle as such, 75 kg person carrying from one place to other place requires around 1500 kg to travel on the road. So this is, so maybe you can carry 4 people. It is designed for 4 people or 5 people, but vehicle weight is around. So you have a power, it becomes like a powerful engine, then powerful style, powerful this thing. So in short, as a business model is good, but we should really take advice from taking from the Japan, Korea, and all these areas because we have land crunch, we have other problems there. So we should really start working towards this thing because all these styles and other things they are coming from America and Europe and other things where their people are aggressive for selling because a lot of competition in Europe. Every country has their own plants and they are selling the vehicles. So they keep working on the style level or technology level. But really looking at for India, if you look at it now, you should try to look at. My personally, I feel after Nano, working on Nano was a eye opener for me to work on this thing. Really speaking, India requires such vehicles. India requires three-wheelers. India requires a small vehicle because we have a lot of issue because of the population. If every person starts affording the car, I don't think we'll able to live in India. So it's a surface area itself, we'll find it very difficult. So as a designer, the contribution is required to work on the smaller and smaller vehicles, very efficient vehicle on the space wise.
Oh, thank you very much.
Anybody else?
Ravi, really nice. It was nice presentation. In fact, there are many things which we didn't know, we came to know through your presentation. Thank you.
I ran, I just went very fast because it was 30 minutes, 40 minutes was a short period. And we decided not to go in detail of a particular vehicle. Atul. Yes, Atul.
Yeah, it's not a question, but your story is a perfect example of right place at the right time.
Yeah, I always feel the same way. I
Yeah.
want to be lucky enough that I was standing on a Dombivli platform in the right direction of the platform. Somebody pushed me from behind. From I joined Tata Motor right time.
But you took the best of that, as in you could galvanize on the opportunities which were handed out to you perfectly well. So feeling nice about you. So nice. Masta.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think we are underrating Rajhans. I know him well, and the kind of work, amount of work he does, hard work he puts in, it's all result of that. Not luck may have played a small role, but it is Rajhans' hard work that has gone into it.
I actually I had an opportunity. Atwankar sir and Ray sir and Chakku was behind me for when the UG started. They were behind me to join IDC. I was having a problem. My old parents, my mother and mother-in-law was at home, so it was very difficult for me to leave from Pune and join there. But this they're pushing me at that time resulted me to become a co-guide for racers, PhD guide, PhD students in IDC, and then we were working on some proposal when Tata Motor that where I can go on IDC's role for some period, which never worked out, but it resulted me into getting into academics because I started liking that. Yes, I like this teaching. I like to go to IDC, talk and other thing. So probably that has resulted me to go when came out from Tata Motor, went to academics. But I'm always available. I'm for any teaching and anything. IDC is like a second home. Whatever is today we are is because of IDC.
Yeah, Avinash, please go ahead.
Yeah, I have a small question. I actually joined quite late, so I might have missed it. Uh, See, when I look at the Tata vehicles, I think Hexa is one of the best platform and vehicle available.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to it, why it is discontinued. So, any idea on that? If you can throw some light on that, please.
I think uh, Prasanna will able to talk. Prasanna he worked on Arya and Hexa. I didn't work on Hexa as such, but I tell you one more thing. Part of it is uh, uh, in the vehicle as such, any vehicle, na, success and failure. There are multiple reasons. Multiple reasons. There could be a reason that the vehicle did not come right time in the market. It became a little bit late in development. You keep working on that. You decided all the thing, and probably because of internal problems of some exterior problems, something, and it didn't reach in the market right time. People have lost probably our competitor has gained that popularity at that time. Second is thing is one vehicle development. You take today one vehicle, one platform, one complete vehicle to be developed. You require around 3 to 4 years, and you require around 5,000 to 6,000 crore rupees. That's the money which goes into one vehicle. So it's a cutthroat competition. When one vehicle is succeeding, that means it is coming out the market share of somebody else. So all they compete like when somebody is coming, they to get a people go to any level to snatch people from each other to try to get this thing. When I went to Idea Institute in Indica days, the first presentation when it was happening in Ideas, there was a corporate office on the wheel, and the first presentation of styling model when it was happening. So it was that hill corporate office was covered with a canopy. And I asked, is it cold? During was cold. Is it because of cold? So they said, no, 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 it is not cold. The information gets leaked that today there is a presentation of some company here, and some helicopter will go on top and they will take the photographs. And in tomorrow's magazine, it will come. Somebody, competitor will pay the money, and a helicopter will come. It will just click the photographs. I was not knowing this scenario when I was in India. I was not understanding this. Such thing. But which was 1999, 96 when I what was seeing there. Today is there in India. You try to look at it not only to maintain your own people. Within the project, some people will be snatched. Somebody will give some good opportunity or package or something, and then one person is today here and next day is working somewhere else. So how to maintain the data, how to maintain the secrecy, it's a big challenge. And it's a huge money, huge money.
So about Avinash, you were talking about the Hexa.
Yeah.
Hexa actually is based on the ARIA platform, which was launched in 2010. And my answer, whatever I'm saying also is applicable to Atwankar's sir's question. Is that when we launched, when Tata Motors launched ARIA, that time it was almost 3 years late into the market, and because of which it was not looking very contemporary. Mahindra XUV 500 was looking very yo in today's words, and then also there were technical problems. So even though it was a new platform, it was not contemporary, and it was on top of that it was a ladder frame platform. And now you see most of the vehicles are unitary body construction. Okay, so that is another reason because of which it also cannot sustain the crash regulations. If you have chassis and if you have bolted body to that, you cannot withstand a few crash regulations. Because of which my thinking is that it is discontinued. And Hexa was just modification of ARIA, because ARIA, we always used to have a kind of joke that we have more number of prototypes in Tata Motors than number of vehicles sold in India. It was bad at that level, but then to revive that, the Hexa was done.
But I'll add one more thing to Prasanna, which in Ultra platform, I was also handling Ultra platform down the line, which is the next level of 709 something. One of this, since we are designers, we always like to be with go to the market, go to the dealers and talk with them, not only being in the design office, but go out and talk to them. And one feedback I went on getting from outside, that many times people used to, in India especially, people used to look at and ask that there is a huge electronics, and this electronics outside in the market is not repairable. People in India are very, very skeptical about it. You buy one Sony TV, a small problem happens, then you have to replace entire TV. Nobody changes any electronic, anything, something. So on the vehicle, when you have a purchase you 15-18 lakh vehicle, you have to go to authorized dealer. People expectation is, I want a technology, but the technology should be roadside repairable. And this is a unique case in India, which I saw in Ultra. Ultra also was having similar problems, a very advanced vehicle compared to this thing. But customer used to say that when you used to go to dealer, meet the customer used to say, Saab, aap humse bahut aage chale gaye. We are behind. You are not matched with me. Aria is actually similar case. Aria, from Tata Motor point of view, look at it, it was an advanced vehicle which moved forward. But Indian philosophy is it's a SUV and it should be at any road garage. People should be able to change it. The first vehicle it came at 4x4 and other things. So, and a lot of time was taken to do development of that. One more issue happened for Aria especially, or for Vista. One of the reason is at that time, Tata Motor R&D top level, we are talking that since the vehicles are becoming commodity, Designer, total design, R&D expenditure is hardly 3 to 4% in overall development. Earlier, what used to happen in Indica days, we work on Indica, we never thought about Indigo, a sedan version. When sedan started, we started changing the entire line, new tools, new thing, everything, because we never thought that we will make a sedan. And Vista time, it was since one of the fellow R&D head came from General Motors, he started talking that we should talk about all the variants in the day one. You should talk about 6 vehicles, 8 vehicles if you're going to produce in next 10 years. What you require manpower. So what will increase? 3% market expenditure will increase another 5 times. But marketing will take a decision when to launch. You cannot decide based on that. So our R&D and everything were more people are employed. Everybody was having laptops and everything, the CAD facilities, I think, so that you can do at a time 5 vehicles design work. Now marketing will take decision whether sedan to come first or hatchback, and tooling people will take a decision. So all that work been started, which was the first time happened for Vista and Aria. And there was a lot of load came into design people because we were the first to take over that task. And that also has resulted into delays because one project is happening, then next project is coming, all tooling people are busy into that. Manufacturing team is calm. Then people are employing people, expanding their team, expanding that. Everywhere expansion was happening. So that also has resulted. Now today you are seeing the fruits of that. Now Tata Motor, what all this Tiago, Tigor, Nexon or Hexon, Aria, this is very easy. Now things are there on CAD, everything is available. Team is there, offloading facilities available. You can quickly you take and then you develop something and you serve the purpose. So these, but that time it was hard, really hard. We all were struggling. And I remember when I was working in Vista and Nano days, the difficulty was so hard that many times I used to forget with whom I am talking. I used to talk in front of my fellow, and he used to say that, sir, you don't call my name because I know that you will not remember my name. Because every day there's something is happening and every problem and just running from one place to other place or something. Very difficult time.
Great, great. I think both of you have given, lot of insight, and now I know how complex it is to be in an automobile business. So thank you for that. Yeah.
We're almost
Yeah.
15 minutes beyond our time. I'll just wait for if there's one more question if anybody has. Otherwise, thank you, Ravindra, for the great talk and the great discussion, and Prasanna for pitching in to help clarify doubts and all that. So with this, I'll be closing the recording session. Thank you all for making it tonight and being with us. Thank you very much and good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night to all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.